It's Monday. Welcome to Masterclass Monday. And I am so excited to see you here again. We are in our healing space. Welcome to week three of our beautiful couples and trying to get this thing called relationships together. Week one and week two, the first week we have identified if there was a communication barrier. Week two, we learned how to listen, not just hear our partners, but to actively listen in what they were saying. Week three, I want you to consider creating a secure space to be vulnerable with your partner. Vulnerability is essential to building intimacy and closeness, right? That means that we risk emotional exposure and owning something meaningful in the presence of another. Most people try to avoid being vulnerable. They try to ignore it. And a lot of us, if not all of us, we struggle with vulnerability in some aspect of our lives. What I have seen in my practice is that couples who manage vulnerability effectively, they can move through conflict with a lot less disruption, okay? So after we have identified that we have some communication issues, after we have practiced being active listeners, now we want to create a secure space to be vulnerable with our partners so that we can feel safe coming to them if there is an issue, concern, or problem. We want to create security so that our partner can feel vulnerable when they are coming to us with different situations. They don't have to put on a mask. They don't have to put on a brave face. They don't have to be anxious. They know that they are safe when they come to you. So how do we create security? The first thing I want you to consider is having boundaries, right? And if you have session with me, how often do we talk about boundaries and values? So I want you to consider making sure that you have boundaries in your relationship, making the commitment to one another clear and trusting and respecting each other's limits. Know how far you can go with your partner, know what their boundaries are, and trust your partner that they are going to respect those limits. The next thing I want you to consider in trying to create security is being warm, right? Engaging with each other in a loving way. So if your partner is fearful in coming to you because you are snappy, you are dismissive, you are defensive, you are manipulating, then that is not a secure place for them to come to if they're having an issue, problem, or concern. So you want to make sure that you maintain a warm environment, that your partner feels safe coming to you with whatever it is. Okay, if you are having those negative emotions or reactions, those need to be checked at the door. And if you are unsure how to do that, definitely contact me for individual therapy so we can look at some of those negative behaviors. The next factor that I want you to consider in trying to create a safe space for your partner is being non-judgmental. Okay, that is your teammate, that's your partner, that is the person that should be the closest one to you. So you want to make sure that your space is that you're not judging them. Okay, that you're coming from a mindset of being collaborative instead of who's right or who's wrong, or what's right or what's wrong, or what's socially acceptable, what's not socially acceptable. You got to be on the same page. And if your partner feels like they are on the same page with you, then they will feel safe in coming to you with whatever the issue might be in that moment. The next factor that I want you to consider when we are trying to create a space of security for our partners is having some integrity, right? Defining what you value and aligning your actions with them. So saying what you mean and mean what you say, all right? Not saying one thing, but your actions show something totally different. I say all the time, love is an action word. So you can't be telling your partner that you love them and all of your actions contradict what your words are saying. Words are meaningless. It is the action behind the words that give it weight. The next factor that I want you to consider is safety. So understanding that your relationship and the history that your partner may be coming into this relationship with can impact some of the current needs that they may have, right? And so making sure that they always feel safe, because we all as adults are coming from all different types of walks of life and have experienced all different types of things, and a lot of different behaviors could be triggering. So if you are a person who is very expressive and you bang the countertop when you're talking, that could be triggering for your partner, right? Loud bangs, loud voices, stonewalling, shutting down, all of these different things. Your partner is coming to you as an adult who has experienced life in such a way. And so we want to make sure that we are trying to facilitate a space where they feel safe to talk to us and share with us and won't be triggered by some of the actions that we may display. Okay. So, as usual, I hope you brought your pen to masterclass, because I have an activity for you to think about. I want you to think of two situations, one where vulnerability was handled well and one where it did not go so well. So I want you to journal about an experience where being vulnerable went well with others. And then I want you to describe another experience where being vulnerable just didn't go as planned. And then I want you to do a deeper dive into those two situations. And when you look at when vulnerability went well, think about safety, boundaries, warmth, non-judgment, and integrity, right? And how that helped or did not help when vulnerability went well. And then look at what you journaled about when vulnerability didn't go as well, when it went poorly, and think about those same domains: safety, boundaries, warmth, being non-judgmental, and integrity, and kind of think about how did things go poorly in each of those domains, right? Why didn't being vulnerable, why didn't that not work? What happened in those domains? Okay. Definitely email me at onthecouch1111@gmail.com. Let me know how you are moving by implementing and incorporating some of these different exercises, some of these different tips in your relationship, and how is it working or not working. We have one more week to go. Until next time, my goal for you, my wish for you is to be brave, be magical, and above all else, be well. Talk soon.